Hey, good morning. We're here with Isabel Bathurst from Inspire Legal Group. How you doing, Isabel?
I'm very well, thank you. Good morning.
Good stuff. If you'd like to, just kick us off, head straight in and tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for, please.
Thank you very much, Mike. Well, I'm a solicitor. I specialise in clinical negligence and catastrophic injury claims. I've been doing it for quite some time, more than 25 years, but I've more recently become a director and owner of Inspire Legal Group, whose head office is in Scarborough. I'm the COO, along with my co-directors, CEO Natalie Foster and our director Ian Cohen, and we've just brought on Bill Tilley, who I will explain about a little more.
Great stuff. So how long have you said recently, so
yeah,
what sort of period is that? Are you relatively new?
Well,
or
this was a business that started in the pandemic. It was the brainchild of Natalie, who, sitting at home alone like the rest of us, decided she'd do something epic, like start a law firm,
Why not?
As you do. Her and I met actually at the end of 21, so she'd already been in business for some time at that point, but she was growing and expanding and looking at what the vision really was. And what was interesting about her particularly was her real interest in technology and technology to disrupt the legal sector. So that was really how we met, to actually implement and introduce technology to the legal sector. So what happened is that I became a director in February. We rebranded, and Inspire Legal Group came into being earlier this year, just 6 months ago.
Wow.
We rebranded with a new website. The head office for Inspire Legal Group is in Scarborough, so it's a North Yorkshire business primarily. I'm actually in London, and we now have a London office. We have consultant solicitors because this is a business that works on a totally different way of working. We've changed to a consultant model, whereby our solicitors effectively run their own businesses and take a profit share, but we support them in that journey and support them as entrepreneurs really within the business. Sure. And we have consultant solicitors based nationwide. And what I really love about it is this is a North Yorkshire business. We've leveled up the other way.
Brilliant. Yeah. I like it.
Which is marvelous.
Disrupting the norms and things like that. It sounds like a fantastic business model, and something that is a little bit more innovative, I should say.
Absolutely.
Compared to the traditional ways that you imagine a law firm operating. So it sounds very exciting. One of the questions I was going to ask is, what was the biggest impact of COVID? But I think you've answered that already. We asked that.
Well, that's a good question, actually. It's almost as if we've embraced what happened.
Yeah.
To put people to be able to work wherever they want, but to facilitate certainly the younger ones who've been really adversely affected. I've got quite a number of paralegals and interns who I'm working with, and that's why I've had the office in London. It's not really a proper office, it's a virtual office. And that, I think, came out from the pandemic. What a virtual office is an office built around a cafe style with all the meeting rooms that you would need and an opportunity for people to meet. So we go there when we want to meet rather than work, and facilitate people to work wherever, so that the technology on their laptop, on their phone, means that they can be just about anywhere to do the job. And that means that all those issues as to where your desk is goes. And I think that was really one of the main issues coming out of COVID, but with a concern on that issue of isolation and making sure that with that model that was addressed as well.
Sounds good. And again, I was going to ask you a couple of actions that you've taken, but again, this is a business that has been derived from the pandemic and has I suppose I have to call it futuristic, but the future is kind of now really, because everything's just been so fast paced over the last 2 or 3 years that touch point of meeting people as well as embracing technology and working from home or wherever it is you want to work from, that you've got that model.
I think it's still a work in progress though. People are still adjusting, and we've got to change from that employee mindset to that supporting people in their own journeys way of thinking. And because it's such a shift and we've gone through so much, I think we're still very much on the beginning of that journey. So we're adjusting and learning as we go. But I think what we have is the vision of what we want to achieve with some of the tools that were already in place, but making strides to really put that into action in a new way, but retaining the service for our clients as well. And of course, that's a big change for them, and it's not always a straightforward road. There's certain areas of the business that are more difficult than others, and just being able to pop in an office, it's quite different. But one of the other things is that, you're interviewing me on a virtual platform. I don't mind jumping on with clients, and they're getting used to that. They really like it. So it is a change. It is a work in progress, but it is a good one.
Good stuff. You've got your vision there, which is very important to obviously help. So what does the future look like from where you can see it now? What do you see are the main challenges?
Oh gosh, the main challenges are really looking at our client base and helping them to understand that we are providing a top quality service a different way. Looking at our, rather than staff, encouraging people to work with us. When you work on this model, there's not that employee contract. You're reliant on people to buy into your vision. So those are challenging, but we believe we've got the roadmap to put that in place really forcefully. Not least that I mentioned Bill Tilley. Bill Tilley is actually an American entrepreneur with different businesses in the States, including legal business, finance business, and he's now one of our directors. So we truly believe that we are a visionary type firm for the future, and we want to ensure that we maintain the grassroots of our client base, people that work with us, but take it to the next level.
Exciting. I like it. Thank you for sharing that. So in the time that you have been a business owner, there has been plenty of learnings so far, plenty more to come. But if there's one that you could pick out to share, or maybe two, one or two perhaps, what would that be, the biggest one that you've had?
It's an interesting question when you're a solicitor or a lawyer, because we're very, very independent and on our own.
Yes.
We do things very much, it's teamwork, collaboration, understanding different ways of working, different skill sets. And one of the things I do love is working with both lawyers and non-lawyers on that management board level. And that opens up mindsets, ways of working that are so new to me. But the one thing I've learned is that no matter where you are on your journey, there's always more to learn.
Great share. Yes, definitely true. Something that is resonates here and with a lot of people, a lot of business owners that I speak to.
Absolutely.
So if you could go back in time, perhaps meet Isabel at 18, or perhaps thinking about a young person starting out in business today, effectively just thinking if you could offer sort of one piece of advice, what would that be? Never quit. Yeah.
Just never quit, never give up. Now, there's always a story, isn't there? People looking and think, oh gosh, she's a lawyer, she's privileged, what have you. No, I came from a comprehensive in mid-Derbyshire. And what I've learned through life is with tenacity, perseverance, but more than anything, don't quit. Then that's the key to moving forwards and success.
Brilliant. Thank you. A nice and succinct share there, and one that is very powerful. Thank you for that. So what inspires you to do what you do? It could be podcasts, anything you listen to at the moment, the team that you're working with, obviously the vision of your business, and anything like that. If there's inspiration that you've got to share, that would be great.
I will be truthful that I do look at mindset, and I look at those individuals that we see across the internet that look at growing oneself, looking at your individual, and there's various people that I have followed through life. So actually I was at a conference where it was Hal Elroyd from the Miracle Morning was the speaker, and I met him.
Wow.
He's got tattooed on his wrist, can't change it. And with that, it means when things go wrong, if you can't change it, you just move on. And it's, whoa, hang on a minute. I can't wallow in my own self-pity then. Damn. So that's exactly the kind of mind-changing person that I like to listen to, because it really challenges where your own inner voice is. And that means that you think differently and move forwards.
It's a great share. Thank you very much. Yes, it was always challenging. I think our own challenges with ourselves the vast majority of the time, as you say, never quit.
That's going to be my strap line, isn't it?
Some brilliant shares here. It's been fantastic. Thank you. So in terms of any latest news, lastly, around Inspire Legal Group that you'd like to share, anything upcoming, or just even directing us to your website for people who may want to get in touch and look at what you're up to. Absolutely.
Yes, we have a website that's going to launch formally imminently, but it's the inspirelegalgroup.com, and it's very much an interactive website, or a live website, whereby we will be adding information, material and assistance, and you can actually ask to be put forward to the right advisor through that. We offer a full range of services that we're just seeking to grow and develop, and so it's a case of watch this space and do have a look at what we do and where we are.
Brilliant. Thanks, Isabel. It's been really good chatting to you, and yeah, I hope it all goes from strength to strength, and we see it continue to grow. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you very much indeed.